Hey. Hey.
No. Whoa, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my god. You alright? You knocked out.
What is up, guys? Hey, hi, how are you doing? My name is Damien.
My name is Scott.
And I'm Alex.
We are Our Mind Center. We make short films, we review movies, and we are coming at you live from the world's smallest building. And tonight we went to go see Skyscraper. Alex, what's it about?
So, the 6th installment of Live Free or Die Hard. This movie is about a man whose family gets stuck inside of a very tall, burning building, and he has to save them.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all you get to know.
Yeah. Because we ain't gonna spoil nothing.
Actually,
fun fact.
Yeah,
we're gonna
this is
just
a
talk
spoiler
about.
review.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk about the
We're
whole.
gonna spoil it.
the
Because
whole
if you
movie.
go see this movie with intent, like intentionally go see this movie, don't.
Talking about Skyscraper, I know for a fact this is a movie that when we went to go see other movies, we saw a trailer for it, and we always were like, oh boy, what? Like, we marked the calendar, not because we were excited, but because we wanted to know when was the week that we were going to go see a bad movie.
Yeah, and like, we, based on money, probably decide whether or not we were going to take a bye week for this one.
Exactly, yeah.
And we also had serious conversations of seeing Hotel Transylvania 3 instead.
Yeah.
And if that's ever a conversation, you know you're a little screwed.
Yeah. So I think all of our expectations were almost, I would say, just ground level. Just right there.
Guilty
A
until...
lot of
level.
architecture
Not
puns
on the
here in this
level.
review. If our review isn't the first one you watch, I know everybody.
Yeah.
You watch Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, Joe Schmo, the Collider crew. Everybody who reviews movies is going to bring up Die Hard. And I think they might be underselling how much this movie wants to be like that, but it's a negative way. Not like this movie is trying to live up to it and just be like a predecessor or like, we really enjoy that movie, so we're making it. I can see what they're trying to do in this movie, and this may be so far one of the most unoriginal movies I have seen this year, and not just because of the main plot, not just because of the whole man trapped inside of a building. There are action scenes, villains, lines of dialogue, moments that I have seen recycled so many damn times.
And a lot of duct tape.
And a lot... There are action scenes, villains, lines of dialogue, moments that I have seen recycled so many damn times. There are action scenes, villains, moments that I have seen recycled so many damn times.
And a lot of duct tape.
Yeah, that was a setup for a punchline on
Duct tape?
And a lot... There is an inordinate amount of duct tape in this movie.
Should we do positives?
Let's go, yeah.
Positives,
let's go
so that
positives
way
first.
we get the positives out of the way, and then we can just shit on this movie.
Okay.
One of mine is that, and obvious. This sucks because this is a very obvious positive. It should be a positive. If it wasn't, why would you go see this movie? But this building is beautiful.
Mhm.
Like, it looks great.
I thought you were going to say The Rock.
That was my one positive.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to jump on Kyle's. I also agree. The building is cool.
I do think that this movie is better than its trailer. I think that the trailers, in my mind, set it up for failure.
Okay.
And there were parts of it that were seemingly redeeming. Like, the action in it wasn't terrible. And there were a couple cool punches.
Yeah.
I like the
You say cool punches?
So,
You
Or
say
like
cool punches?
when they throw.
How are the sound effects though?
Oh,
Never! So pause! That's a negative. That's a negative, and we will talk about it. We will not forget.
There's like a couple parts where like I actually felt like Dwayne lost a little bit in this, and I appreciate that.
Oh, I want to talk about the negatives so bad.
Okay,
You're just setting me up for them.
Okay, yes,
The cool
yes.
punches and the Rock gets hurt.
We're in positives. We're in positives. He gets knocked around a little bit. There's a part where his head gets thrown into a TV.
That's
I
cool.
thought that
That's
was
cool.
Okay, one more.
And then
positive.
there's a part where
Cool
this
fucking-
chick kick somebody's head like up into the roof of the car, and you like see the like.
It looks
And
cool.
it was cool. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say the action scenes are good at all. I will say that there were parts in each action
There was a
scene that were cool,
moment.
but there was one action scene, which is the one that should be cool, that was pretty cool, and it's like a part of the building, like they use.
We're spoiler, baby. This is spoiler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of mirrors, kind of.
Yeah.
It's very impossible, of course, but I'm okay. I can look past that. But there was a bunch of mirrors.
That was
like
practical effects.
Huh?
I'm behind you.
Stop. Negative.
Because sound can like bounce off of mirrors, so you think someone's in front of you.
There was a
if
second-
you speak behind somebody, they.
There was a second.
Oh, my God.
When he used sound to find somebody, and
We're
I
in
thought that was going to
positives.
become a thing. And then it's just
We're in
right
positives.
We're in positives. But that scene was really cool. So there was some really cool action parts, like The Rock punches at a guy, and it's not a guy, and he punches one of the mirrors, and then that scares one of the guys, so he looks at The Rock and shoots him, and it's a mirror, like stuff like that. It was
there.
it was
Smoke
pretty
and
cool.
mirrors. Smoke and mirrors.
Just mirrors.
There's some smoke in there.
Yeah, but there's a
'Cause
fire
the
going
building's
on.
on fire.
Okay, can we get into the negatives?
Look at my nephew.
You go see action movies, and you have a lead, and you have action moments, and you have action scenes and scenes of tension, and everyone always makes fun of, especially Transformers, like that's so unbelievable. Like, oh, you didn't die. Oh, you just fell 30 stories and you didn't die. For the first time that I can remember, a movie has made me feel the complete opposite. This movie is trying so hard to be Die Hard. What makes Die Hard great? I'll give you the boilerplate reason why. Bruce Willis is an everyday guy. He bleeds. He goes through the whole movie and kicks 30 dudes' asses while wearing no shoes. His tank top gets bloody. He gets hurt. He gets his ass kicked. Because he is the viewer. He is an average Joe. And it's Bruce Willis. Not that big of a dude. He's so relatable. And they try so hard. They try so hard. They're like, oh, The Rock, he fell on the little thing and he has to pull it out. Oh, and his arm got cut. Oh, he's a human. The Rock is 250 pounds. Every guy he goes up in this movie, even if he's not a skilled fighter, but he is, because the movie makes him a special agent.
Still Team 6.
Every time I see him get hurt, I only see it as the movie fabricating that. To make me go, oh, it's so damn fabricated. And, oh, this building's bigger than Burj Khalifa, so we're also going to recreate the exact same scenario in Ghost Protocol, where Tom Cruise has to climb to a thing to turn it off, and then go back to the location that he was at. And, like every other Japanese action movie you've ever seen, they fight in a room full of mirrors.
I've never seen any of those.
Oh,
That's
It
what
was
my
so,
God.
the whole like
I didn't know that was a
bad
thing.
guy or whatever in this one.
Every movie,
and
the guest.
No, like the Asian chick and everything that's super good at fighting, and she just randomly walks in and she's like, I got it.
She's
And
in
then
there
they
for no
have
reason
the
like that.
throwaway intelligent character that, of course, they kill off right when he completes his task. It felt like the newer Die Hard movie that had that nerdy kid in it. What is it? Live Free or Die
That's
Hard.
a good one, dude. That's a
No,
good
I love
one.
that
Yeah,
movie.
That's a good
no,
one.
but I'm saying like the exact setup of that.
The hacker
where
guy
there's like,
comes in.
Exactly, and then there's the separate base that they have to go to like break in and break into the other facility.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
It's
So
like
unoriginal. But that's my serious stuff.
every second of this movie.
Yeah.
I don't care. Let's just bounce.
Yeah,
Like,
that's my serious negative. It's like math teachers always say, and you learn it in math. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And I think sometimes this movie wants Dwayne The Rock to be your action hero, where he says one-liners to himself, like he's talking to himself, aka the audience, and he's like, if you don't have enough, or if it doesn't work with duct tape, you're not using enough duct tape. And it's like, that's something John McClane would say in Die Hard. But then in the next scene, he's getting his ass kicked, and then in the next scene after that, it's this big blockbuster action scene. And you're like, what do you want to be?
I think my biggest, and it is kind of specific, but so callbacks are one of my favorite things ever. But not only are the callbacks terrible, all of them, but there are so many callbacks, way too many, and they repeat
That's what I'm saying.
callbacks.
It's just fabricated.
It's
Yeah.
They know what you want as an
There
audience
was-
member, and they're like, just give him one. But it's like in your face. It's like, guys, I get it. You're gonna call back to this later. I get it.
Playing on that a little, I had one at the beginning of it, which kind of plays into what I was going to say as well.
Let's go beginning to end with specifics, if we can.
Oh, we'll try.
In like the beginning of the movie, they show a little reason why he has no leg, which is pointless for the entire movie other than a gag. But he has.
There's a couple gags.
It's just a gag.
That's what I'm saying. It's just. It's like, oh hey, he's relatable to war
Did Bruce
heroes.
Willis have 2 legs?
Yeah. Give him one leg.
They're like, fuck.
But he, at the beginning of the movie, when it really gets into the point of why we're there, he's talking to his wife, and she's trying to fix her phone. And she's like, hey, I need you to help me with my phone. And it's this whole big thing. And he goes, sometimes you just have to turn it off, turn it back on, make it work. And he says that like three times in that conversation. At that point, I was like, the ending of the movie is just gonna turn off.
You almost think to yourself, this better be a callback, otherwise this line of dialogue is shit.
Sure enough, she turns the building off and back on, and the hack's gone. That is such a glaring thing. And what I was going to say is there's too many stupid decisions and poorly written things that happen in this.
Just to set that up.
To the point where at the end of the movie, this cop character that they set up
for no reason.
It's
upgrade all over again. People think in their head, we need a cop, right?
So the whole thing that he's been doing this entire time is televised. There's like a helicopter going around the building, and there's like a crowd.
They want to make him a hero.
Yeah, exactly. There's like this crowd watching it, and you see guys go like, yeah, when he like makes a jump and everything.
They cheer, the Japanese people cheer for this American guy.
During all of this, there's a cop, like an Asian cop that's watching this whole thing happen. At the end of the movie, a guy who has never spoken to Dwayne's character, and who Dwayne has never seen, heard of, or spoken to, walks up to him and goes, it's nice to finally meet you.
You're the hero of our nation.
It's the equivalent of walking up to the person who sold you like groceries at the checkout line. And you
3 weeks later.
Nice to finally meet you. And they're like, what? Well, I bought bananas from you like 3 weeks ago. Okay. It makes no sense.
It makes sense.
No sense.
It makes no sense.
At this point, we can't really tell you anything that has any weight. All we can do is give you examples
of more shitty stuff,
which is fun for us. We love to do that. What movie? Winchester.
Well, it's nice though to have a spoiler review, because in the ones that are non-spoiler, we have to kind of conceal some of our negatives.
But now we can give you point by point reason why you shouldn't go see this movie.
We're gonna take advantage of that shit. Of course.
There's more. The villains leave every hero character alive just because they're like, something will happen to him.
There's another part where that like fighter chick or whatever, the henchman that they have, is pointing the gun directly at the Rock's head.
Yeah.
And says, I'm gonna kill you. And then the cops show up, and she doesn't pull the trigger.
That's when
she shoots the cop and
she shoots right next to his head, the cop.
Also that where he's like, what do you see on the screen? His wife is FaceTiming him, and he's like, what do you see on the screen? Turn the phone so he can see, it. What are you doing? She's like, I see like some stuff, and I don't know. And he's like, oh well, if you see this, he's like, ready. It's the end of the line. He's got you by the balls. And then he goes, drop the thing or whatever. And the hero goes, okay, but first, no, shoot him when he says but first. But the Rock is like, but first, let me tell you something. And he says it in that same voice. And he's like, I'm behind you.
When you think they're about to do a realistic thing and capture him or something like that, he just gets away. And then everybody starts watching this televised event of this character jumping across buildings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And nobody does anything.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
the cops don't even go into the building. He's like, how do we know we can trust you? And she's like, take me with you. First off, that's stupid. Second off, no,
they wouldn't.
And third, they do it. They take her there, and as they're driving to it, the front cop car radios in and goes, we got armed people ahead of us. And he goes, all right. He speeds up with a witness in the back seat. swerves into a firefight and says, duck! And then bullets hit the... No!
Yeah. He has like a 2-minute scene where he's like looking at the TV and he's like, oh, they made it out. My incredibly stupid plan actually worked. Then at the end of the movie, when he gets out and he knows his family is safe, he's like, so whatever her name, he's like, Susan!
Sarah.
Ben! And he's like crying and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't think they're here. You saw them land!
Also, they would still arrest him because of all of the illegal things that he did. And it's
He killed a guy.
Yeah, he was on television. It was a live manhunt.
So I think what I'm gonna give this movie is a good old 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 little sparks. 3 sparks out of 10.
I'm gonna rate this movie also a 3 iPads out of 10. Or tablets, sorry.
Yeah,
we can't burn it. 3 tablets out of 10.
You know what? I'm gonna rate this a 4. I'm gonna rate this a 4 asthma inhalers out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Talk about another fucking complaint.
This movie was. It's nice to finally meet you.
Dog shit. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Please, for our sake and hopefully yours,
By the
leave a
merch
like on this
linked below. It's
Leave a
not
like.
recording.
No!
You want to redo it?
No. Let's just reshoot the whole review. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking the.
Fuck off, dude. I
Not liking the route
gotta
music.
play Fortnite, dude.